Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's presentation on the Saudi-Iran relationship and the role of China in their reconciliation process. I, Justine, will be your presenter today, and with me in making this presentation a success is my work partner, Chester Axton bin Balang. So, without further ado, let's dive into the complex yet interesting relationship between China and the Middle East. The rivalry between these countries, Saudi Arabia and Iran, began in the late 1960s and escalated during the Iranian Revolution and the Arab Spring. Despite efforts to mend relations, disagreements over regional issues persist. In 2016, Saudi Arabia cut diplomatic ties with Iran. This brings us to the East, more specifically, a rising global power, China. China's rise to power and its involvement in global affairs cannot be ignored. It has transformed into one of the most powerful nations economically, surpassing the United States and the European Union in global GDP. China's growing influence has led to its participation in mediating conflicts, including the one between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Today, we will analyze why China was chosen as the international mediator, its positive impact on the Middle East, and the significance of this event for China diplomatically and politically. Thank you. And now, let's delve into the conceptual framework which was used for this study and the implications of China's rise in international politics. Ladies and gentlemen, conflict management, conflict resolution, and reconciliation are three interconnected concepts that play a crucial role in addressing and resolving conflicts in international relations. Each concept focuses on different aspects of conflict and offers distinct approaches to achieving peace and stability. Firstly, conflict management involves effort to maintain and restore order in relationships affected by conflict. It recognizes that conflict is inherent to human nature and emphasizes the importance of behavioral control in managing and resolving conflicts. The goal of conflict management is to achieve conflict resolution through a rational decision-making process, either with or without external assistance, such as mediation or arbitration. It aims to bring about a mutually agreeable settlement or agreement that addresses the underlying issues of the conflict. Secondly, conflict resolution, on the other hand, is a problem-solving approach that seeks to address conflicts by analyzing their root causes. It aims to provide long-term solutions by addressing the political, social, and economic systems that contribute to conflicts. Conflict resolution involves a process of deep analysis and understanding of the conflict, aiming to eliminate the sources of conflict and prevent their recurrence. It emphasizes the need for constructive dialogue, reaching common ground, and finding win-win solutions. The ultimate goal of conflict resolution is to establish a framework for sustainable peace and to cultivate constructive processes and outcomes. Lastly, reconciliation is a concept that focuses on preventing and resolving conflicts peacefully and constructively. It involves bringing together parties that have been in conflict and fostering a sense of harmony and restoration. Reconciliation aims to create an environment where conflicting parties can express their concerns and work towards a common understanding and mutual agreement. It acknowledges the personal and intimate nature of conflicts and recognizes the importance of addressing emotions, attitudes, and expectations. Reconciliation can be seen as a normative ideal and may involve considerations of justice and political apathy. Now that I have introduced you to the conceptual framework which we have used to analyze this study on China's role as the mediator in the Saudi-Iran conflict, let's jump into our findings and discussion. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I will elaborate on the findings and discussion that me and Chester had done. For this section of the article, we have highlighted the key factors that led to China being chosen as the international mediator in the Saudi-Iran reconciliation process. China's selection as a mediator can be attributed to several significant factors. Firstly, China's diplomatic engagements, such as President Xi Jinping's visit to Saudi Arabia and Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi's visits to China, emphasize support for each other's interests and non-interference in domestic affairs. establishing a foundation for China's role as a mediator. This aligns with China's aspiration for regional stability and global ambitions, coinciding with Xi's third term as president. Secondly, China's neutral stance and balanced approach in its relations with Saudi Arabia and Iran further enhance its credibility as a mediator. Its ability to maintain equal distance from both parties builds trust and protects China as a reliable mediator. Additionally, China's relationships and influence with senior Iranian security officials, including the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, compensate for Saudi Arabia's lack of coercive diplomatic instruments and military deterrence against Iran. Economically, China sees the reconciliation process as an opportunity to strengthen its position and expand its economic ties in the region. China aims to demonstrate its diplomatic abilities, soft power, and commitment to peaceful resolutions by playing a constructive role in mediating the conflict. In contrast to the United States' strategy of imposing sanctions, China's approach allows it to establish itself as an alternative global actor and gain influence in the Middle East, given the United States' perceived reluctance to intervene. Moreover, China's selection as a mediator is influenced by its shared understanding of a rules-based international order and international security with Saudi Arabia. This shared understanding emphasizes non-intervention in the domestic affairs of other nations. Saudi Arabia believes that China holds power over Iran and can ensure Iran's compliance with its obligations. China's engagement extends beyond diplomatic channels, involving high-level Iranian security officers, which Saudi Arabia believes have more influence over Iran's behavior in the region. This addresses Saudi Arabia's long-standing challenge of coercing Iran's security and military agencies into concessions. Looking ahead, China aims to continue assisting Saudi Arabia and Iran in strengthening their ties and promoting regional security and prosperity. China's long-term goals in managing Middle Eastern affairs include maintaining global peace, supporting common growth, and establishing a community with a shared destiny for humanity. China's successful mediation in reopening diplomatic relations between Saudi Arabia and Iran has been recognized internationally, attributing to its success in diplomatic legitimacy, political neutrality, and its commitment to peace and development in the Middle East. China's balanced approach, security influence, economic interests, demonstration of soft power, and the broader context of the US-China struggle in the region have all contributed to its role as the international mediator in the Saudi-Iran reconciliation process. Moving on from the previous findings, this next section discusses the positive effects of China's selection as the international mediator in the development of the Middle East region. China has been involved in promoting peace and security in the Middle East for over 2 decades, with a particular focus on resolving the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. China's emphasis on this conflict stems from its reliance on Middle Eastern cooperation for its Belt and Road Initiative and the need for Israeli collaboration in various domains. China's position aligns with its growing global status and economic interests in the region, leading to significant trade growth and diversification of cooperation beyond energy. China's perceived neutrality and impartiality make it an ideal mediator in the Middle East. Its balanced relations with all countries in the region allow for a neutral stance and facilitate trust-building effort among conflicting parties. China's historical commitment to non-intervention and pursuit of diplomacy in a peaceful and friendly manner further contribute to its impartiality. Despite concerns over China's treatment of its Uyghur minority, it is still regarded as having a better position than other brokers in mediating conflicts in the region. China's neutrality and impartiality are seen as positive features that enable it to play a constructive role in the Middle East conflicts and crises. Other than that, China's economic strength and investment capabilities also have a positive impact on the development of the Middle East region. China has established partnership agreements with multiple Middle Eastern countries and actively participates in anti-piracy and maritime security missions. The Belt and Road Initiative plays a significant role in promoting China's economic system and investment in the region. Middle Eastern countries are attracted to China's investment capabilities and infrastructure development, viewing it as an opportunity for economic and political diversification. China's foreign policy approach of balancing between rival powers and promoting multilateralism has allowed it to strengthen ties with the Middle East and engage in infrastructure projects that serve its ambitious BRI. Subsequently, China's involvement in the Middle East is motivated by economic interests, particularly its reliance on Middle Eastern countries for crude oil and the growth of its markets and influence in the region. China's investments in transportation systems, ports, railroads, and power stations contribute to the region's goal of modernization, connectivity, and economic diversity. These investments not only benefit China, but also support the economic reform objectives of Middle Eastern countries and promote regional integration. Last but not least, the final section of our article discusses China's diplomatic significance and political achievements in the context of the Saudi-Iran reconciliation process. China's rise as a key participant in the Middle East has brought about significant changes in regional dynamics, expanding its involvement beyond traditional energy supplies to include economic, geopolitical, and strategic issues. China's non-interventionist stand and commitment to protecting shared interests resonate with Middle Eastern countries seeking autonomy in their international relations. As a non-party to the hostilities in the region, China has been able to play a role in promoting peace and mediating disputes. Its diplomatic efforts, including assisting the Saudi-Iranian peace process, highlight its unique ability to reduce tensions and foster stability in the Middle East. China's influence and popularity have surpassed that of the United States, particularly among the Arab youth, as indicated by statistical data showing a significant percentage considering China as an ally of their country. China's involvement in promoting diplomatic stability in the Middle East has increased its influence and strengthened its partnerships with other regional actors. It has increased arms sales to Middle Eastern countries and participated in joint military drills with influential nations like Saudi Arabia and, of course, Iran. China's willingness to sell sophisticated weaponry to countries facing international sanctions position it as a potential alternative arms supplier in the region. Furthermore, Middle Eastern countries such as Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar are aligning themselves with China and Russia through their participation in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, presenting a potential challenge to the influence of the United States in the wider region. In summary, China's diplomatic significance and political achievements in the Saudi-Iran reconciliation process highlight its growing influence in the Middle East. Its non-interventionist stance, commitment to shared interests, and involvement in promoting peace and stability have garnered popularity and trust among Middle Eastern countries. Additionally, its arms sales and military cooperation further solidify its presence and potential as a major player in the region, posing a challenge to the influence of the United States. China's rising influence politically within the Middle East positions it as a key participant in shaping regional dynamics. Now, we've come to the last part, the conclusion. So here is our conclusion. The article highlights China's role as the international mediator in the Saudi-Iran peace process and emphasizes the key factors that contribute to its selection. China's diplomatic credibility, political impartiality, and commitment to the Middle East peace and development have earned praise from both Saudi Arabia and Iran. Its balanced stance, influence with Iranian security officials, and economic interests further solidify its legitimacy as a mediator. China's neutrality, lack of historical baggage, and economic strength all play a significant role in promoting reconciliation and peace in the Middle East. China's involvement in the region aligns with its foreign policy objectives, which prioritize economic interests and regional stability. The Belt and Road Initiative serves as a platform for expanding collaboration and investment, particularly in vital sectors such as energy and infrastructure. China recognizes the potential synergies between the BRI and Middle Eastern national development programs and aims to capitalize on these opportunities for mutual benefit. The growth of the Maritime Silk Road demonstrates China's commitment to improving marine connectivity and securing its energy resources. China's expanding influence in the Middle East challenges the historic supremacy of the United States and reshapes regional dynamics. Despite pursuing its economic goals, China takes a conservative and pragmatic approach, carefully navigating the complex regional dynamics and avoiding confrontation. By maintaining relationships with diverse countries and avoiding taking sides, China contributes to regional stability and constructive engagement. Overall, China's diplomatic and political contributions to the Saudi-Iran reconciliation process represent a significant shift in Middle East dynamics, with China emerging as a crucial player and an alternative to Western powers. Its growing influence in the region demonstrates its ability to shape regional affairs and underscores the changing power dynamics in the Middle East. Thank you for listening until the end of our presentation. I hope through this presentation you have gained more insight into the role of China in the international systems, especially as the middleman aside from the US, and its role in mediating the conflict between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Until next time, see ya.